Since 1972, Guide Dogs of the Desert has provided custom-trained guide dogs for the visually impaired and for those with special needs, for safe mobility, companionship, and independence. The mission of Guide Dogs of the Desert is to improve the lives of special needs individuals by creating opportunities for life-changing independence. Let's meet the wonderful people at Guide Dogs of the Desert. Give us just a general of what you guys do as a whole, from start to finish.
Right. So I feel like here in the desert, a lot of folks know Guide Dogs of the Desert, but they don't necessarily know exactly what we do. So we are in the business of training guide dogs for visually impaired individuals at no cost to them. So when they start with us in our program, they can fly from all over the country to be at Guide Dogs of the Desert. We're in North Palm Springs. Our actual address is in Whitewater. So we have a campus that's laid out a lot like a college. There's dorm rooms there. The students, they come live with us for 28 days straight. We feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they are matched with their dog, and then training commences pretty much right away.
I actually started as a volunteer puppy raiser. So I started puppy raising when I was in college, and I loved every minute of it. Graduated college, didn't know what I wanted to do, and because I love that so much, I looked into, could I actually become a full-time professional trainer at this? So there's a 3-year apprenticeship, and have been doing it ever since.
Tell us the difference between a service dog and a guide dog.
So there's a couple of different things. So, you know, a service dog is the broad definition of a dog that works for someone with a disability. So any dog that has a trained task for someone who has a disability, and that could be anything from, you know, someone in a wheelchair where they open doors. That could be someone with a hearing impairment where they alert to sounds. A guide dog is specific for someone with a visual impairment. So they work specifically for someone who is blind or has a low vision and showing them how to get through the world. And then what you're talking about is the going online and getting a service dog vest. These guys spend years and years training to be out in the public, and not all of them make it, right? They need to have certain characteristics. I would consider guide dogs one of the top because you have to have both that calm demeanor, but also have to have the confidence to lead out and take a blind person across the street, downstairs, into potentially unknown environments, and having that confidence. So it takes a lot of training from when they're very, very little all the way up through, and even the person goes through extensive training to be able to work with their guide dog.
They train all day, every day. We give them 1 day off a week for 28 days to form that bond. And then we know that they're going to be confident when they fly back home, whether home is Arizona or Florida or Los Angeles or right here in the Coachella Valley. They feel like they are confident with their new match.
What do you think is the biggest need for Guide Dogs of the Desert?
Really, it's puppy raisers.
Puppy raisers.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a core group of amazing volunteers. These are people that take these puppies in that we can't make a guide dog until they've gone through their puppy.
We found out about Guide Dogs of the Desert. I think we saw in the paper that they had a graduation and it was open to the public. So I thought, we have nothing to do, it's a Saturday morning, we'll go. And it just touched all of us. Seeing the graduates and the dogs and the slideshow of the puppy growing up and seeing the person that they were going home with, you cannot go to a graduation without having happy tears. It just, we just left thinking, this is something we have to do. This is a bucket list thing, we're gonna do it once, and here we are 8 dogs later. So yeah. We've done it more than once.
8
but
dogs,
8 dogs have come through our house in different ways. But those graduations are just amazing, and we left thinking, this is an organization we have to be part of, and we have to do, and so that's how we found out about puppy raising.
So exciting. It seems like the kids, you have a 17-year-old and a 14, right?
Yeah.
And they seem to love it too,
It
right?
is. It's something the whole family can enjoy and do together, and as you know, when you have kids different ages and stuff, it's hard to find something they're interested in. So it's been a great way for us to volunteer and be involved with an organization that all of us are excited to be part of.
All of this that Abel is, that this dog is able to do is just, this was taught by a puppy raiser. This is,
Wow.
we teach the advanced stuff. We teach the, the tasks that are impressive, but everything else that is in the dog's life, going home with a blind person, living with a blind person's family, that's all something that the puppy raiser has done. We can't do this job without puppy raisers. We can get the best bred dogs in the world. You could be the best trainer in the world, but if you don't have that solid foundation,
right?
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anybody can be a puppy raiser. You just have to dedicate the time to raising the puppy. I think, you know, it's great with a family because there's always somebody to spend time with the dog, walk the dog,
Right.
socialize with the dog. It's great for a retired person. I know people that have raised puppy that works in offices or,
Oh, okay.
you know, I don't think there is one person that can do it, but you have to be ready to dedicate the time and effort just like you would if you had your own dog at home.
What we say to people who want to be volunteer puppy raisers is that it is so impactful because you're changing somebody's life. So you go into the process of receiving a puppy from us knowing that's not your dog to keep forever. So it's a different mindset, whether you were going to a shelter and rescuing a dog and you knew that you were going to keep that dog throughout its entire life and so on. This is a commitment, but a shorter commitment. Our volunteer puppy raisers say once they see that dog graduate with the visually impaired individual, it's so life-changing that they know it's just this selfless gift that they can do again.
We just saw our last graduate and he knew right away who we were. He ran up to us. He was so happy to see us. And I didn't know how we were going to feel, but it was nothing. If there were tears, they were tears of happiness. I was just so proud. Like, he did it. He did it.
Yeah.
And he was suited up in his harness and it's like floating on air. Being led by a professional guide dog is like nothing
really?
else. And he was
Interesting.
so proud to show our family, like,
Yeah.
look at me. I'm a real guide dog, so and it's amazing to see them graduate. You're just like a proud parent.
Yeah,
a
just
proud,
like a parent,
proud
yeah.
parent that you've got to be part of their journey and their life.
And they're going to benefit and impact
yep.
someone's life,
Yep.
or
So I said I was going
ever.
to do one and be done, and a good friend through guide dogs had said this to me. They're like potato chips. You can't just do
Yeah.
one. And now I'm addicted. And now we're raising our next puppy, and we've had other puppies come through the house to babysit or to foster. And it definitely be careful because if you think you're just going to do one, be careful because you will be addicted.
Good. We just need more people to get addicted.
Yes,
you know?
yes. So many people say, "Oh, I could never do it." Yes, yes, you could. You could, because when you see what these dogs do and how they change people's lives, hands down, you can do it. You can pour all your love and energy into these dogs and just know that they're going to go do great things.
Well, I would say it also takes a special person to do the puppy raising too. So thank you for doing that. I mean, that's a lot. That's
No,
8 dogs. That's
I'm just
quite an impact.
So glad that we found guide dogs and
Yeah.
that we just enjoy it so much.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.